let's come together right now. Oh yeah, it's sweet harmony. Let's come together right now. Oh yeah.
All right, thank you for joining Earth Celebrations Ecological City Parade in Place from home on Zoom. Today we'll be featuring volunteers in Earth Celebrations spectacular costumes, as well as many from far and near sharing their homemade costumes, celebrating our natural world and addressing climate issues. So first, we're going to highlight the 2020 Ecological City costumes, and these were all designed by Michelle Brody. Our first costume we have is our Sustainable Development Goals costume, and it's worn by Rosa Velez. So Rosa's costume is going to become the spotlight view so you can all see it. There she is. This costume is made from painted silk fabric and rattan and illustrates the 17 Sustainable Development Goals presented by the United Nations, which includes social, environmental, and development goals. We are celebrating local climate solution initiatives throughout the community gardens, neighborhoods, and waterfronts, and we're connecting them to these global sustainable development goals. This costume illustrates the importance of creating a more sustainable and equitable future for all. Thank you, Rosa. Awesome. There we go. There's the carbon sequestration costume worn by Joanne. Wow, look at that. So beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much, Joanne. Our next costume is worn by Kathy Krutzberg, and it's the Zero Waste Daily Wear. So this costume, worn by Kathy, the headdress is made from mycelium fungi that we actually grew into a form, as well as a vest made of kombucha leather that we grew from kombucha tea over many weeks, and then dried into a leathery material which was made into this vest. The breastplate you see is made from seaweed, and the skirt from a natural burlap fabric. This costume is fully biodegradable and compostable and highlights a zero waste lifestyle. This costume reminds us to think about how we create what we wear and where our clothing materials go after they leave our closets. Looks great, Kat. Look at that headdress. Looks great. Thank you so much. All right, our next costume is worn by Michelle Brody. This is our final costume for 2020. Here's the designer wearing it herself. It's made from handmade paper, flax, and rattan. This costume illustrates the possibilities of natural materials. We can look to natural materials for the inspiration for materials instead of relying on synthetic petroleum-based materials. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing your designs with us and making a lot of them in your home studio this year. Wow, look at that. Amazing. Thank you so much.
Hi, I think we're on now. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
We have a minor parade to contribute. And I want to say that this is going to be a small procession for Earth Celebrations Ecological City. This is the Sustainable Solutions Mandala honoring a dozen gardens in the Lower East Side. Here we go.
All right, our next costume spotlight is the Melting Glaciers costume, worn by Gerard Ulysses. This costume is made from recycled fabric and paper mache, and it illustrates the melting glaciers and ice caps, which are threatened by increasing global temperatures. Glaciers provide drinking water to downstream communities and regulate watersheds. Many human and non-human communities depend on glaciers, and as they melt, these communities are put in danger. There it is. Awesome. The Melting Glaciers costume. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks, John. All right. Our next costume is the climate consequences costume. Worn by our volunteer, Pedro. So let's go ahead and there he is. Awesome. Climate consequences, fire and water. It is made from painted silk fabric. This costume shows the consequences and effects if we do not combat climate change. The consequences we face of extreme weather result in increased forest fires from drought and flooding due to hurricanes and sea level rise. Without robust climate action, future generations will see increasing environmental dangers, threatening their security and lifestyles. That's awesome, Pedro. Look at that. Fire and flood. Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, the next costume, if you can't tell, I'm actually wearing, it's kind of difficult to fit into this frame here, but I'm wearing the next costume, which is the Gaia Climate Solutions costume. It's made from silk, tulle, and reed. This costume shows the Mother Earth figure, Gaia, who originates from ancient Greek mythology. The silk banner shows the many local climate solution initiatives community members are cultivating throughout the Lower East Side and the importance of these local efforts to city and global climate challenges. Next, we have about 5 more Earth celebration costumes to share, and then we want to see the costumes that you have made from your home or wherever you're social distancing. We want to see next is Wendy Bauer. There she is. Hi, Wendy. All right, this costume is the Urban Climate Solutions costume worn by Wendy. It is made from fabric with painted banners of the community gardens and their climate solutions, designed by Catherine Fragan. This costume illustrates the green infrastructure and climate solution initiatives in urban communities, such as bioswales and permeable paths. These grassroots climate solutions together comprise an inspiring model for urban sustainable ecosystems. Look at those details. Amazing. Thank you so much, Wendy. All right, our next costume is the Muscle Woman, and that's M-U-S-S-E-L, and that's worn by Nancy Balmer. There she is. The mussel costume is made of recycled fabric and discarded mussel and oyster shells collected from oyster bars in oyster planting programs. This costume highlights the importance of oysters as a natural solution to filter the estuary, as mussels filter toxins and give back clean water. Oysters are currently being planted throughout the Hudson River ecosystem and New York estuary to improve water quality. Thank you, Nancy. Beautiful. All right, our next costume is the oyster costume, and it's worn by Mindy. Let's get Mindy on the screen there and look at that oyster. There it is. Awesome. So this costume was made with found oyster shells, sisal, and fabric. Oysters are an important part of our ecosystem. This dance costume celebrates oyster planting programs, which naturally cleanse the Hudson River and help facilitate oyster colony growth as a means to naturally clean water systems. That is awesome. Thank you, Mindy. Awesome. Okay, our next costume we're gonna spotlight is the wetlands costume. And that's worn by Rashani Shah. So let's get Rashani. There it is. Awesome. Rashani's costume is made of mixed fabrics and native grasses. This costume highlights river grass and wetlands, which combat erosion and storm surges. The New York City area was once covered with wetlands, which teemed with aquatic, terrestrial, and avian species. Wetlands offer many species protection from the open waters of the Hudson and the Atlantic. Thank you, Rashani. Looks great. Okay, our last Earth Celebrations costume that we'll see today is the Leguma costume worn by Kian. So let's get Kian on the spotlight. So the Leguma costume is made of recycled fabric, which we got from materials for the arts. There she is. There's that costume, awesome. Hi. Okay, this costume represents the urban sustainable agriculture that is being cultivated throughout many urban community gardens, providing organic produce close to home for many low-income residents. Look at all those, awesome. Thank you so much, Kian. Great. And at the beginning of our parade in place, we have so many joining us today in costumes of their own making. So I want to use the remainder of this time to invite you to briefly share the costume you've made for today, what it's made out of, and what it represents. Next, I want to see Lucrecia we have on here. She's the designer of our puppets and made all the puppets, which you'll be able to see the videos of those on our Facebook page. But Lucrecia, I understand that you made a costume for yourself at home, so I want to give you a chance to share that first.
Hello.
All right, hello.
Hello.
You want to share your costume with us?
Oh, so happy to be here today. I just want to say how appreciative I am. I am Stewards of the Sea, and this completely is upcycled umbrellas. So bear with me as I have bicycle tire flowers for Felicia, and I come with bearing trash art. And here we go. Mother Earth, happy Mother's Day.
Wow.
All of this is from Long Beach, New York, from a beach cleanup.
That is wonderful.
And what I want to say is regenerate. I know it's backwards.
No, it's good. We can read it. It's perfect.
And for all of you.
Thank you so much. That's great.
That's great.
Stewards of the Sea, thank you so much. I follow you. I love it. I met you at Elizabeth Garden many years ago. If I have a moment to read my message.
Sure.
We believe at Stewards of the Sea in using creativity to spread awareness of global issues that are challenging our world. And if you've ever had a butterfly kiss, you know what I mean.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
Woo!
Next, I originally was going to go in order of who would want to show costume. But let's go ahead, and if you're wearing a costume that you'd like to share, there's a hand-raising feature. Let's see. If you go to participants at the bottom of your Zoom call and click participants, there should be a button where you can click raise hand. Hi, you're on.
Hi. How are you, Hannah?
Yeah.
Hi. Okay. I'm spotlighting my costume. The best of which, this is made out of hundreds and hundreds of little bamboo beads. And of course, bamboo is sustainable, as we know. It was made in Malaysia. It was a gift to me from a designer. He had it was a commission that was given by some very wealthy person. It took 3 months for the women in Malaysia to make this costume. Hundreds of little tiny bamboo beads. The hat is my creation, and it's
Awesome.
made. And my costume is about forests, because I believe that forests are a necessary part of this world. Without forests, we would just be doomed. So they're so important. And we have to do everything we can to make sure that they're taken care of and not let the developers plow down the forest. They're such a necessary force to our world in all respects.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
I made a costume that kind of like a tree, but I have like flowers because I took advantage of old stuff I have to kind of cycle for my costume, and my mother helped me sew it with our old sewing kit, and the material I left luckily just enough for the costume, and it kind of flutters and it moves around, and I have the headpiece that dangles that I put on a little face paint or make that doesn't show too well, but I didn't want to overdo it.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Fred. It looks awesome. Thank you. Thanks so much. Okay, let's go ahead to our next participant.
Great job.
Susan, you want to share your costume with us?
Oh, thank you. I shot my video outside by my vertical garden, but this is a picture of my tree costume with the roots twisting around and communicating. And I hope you can see it there.
That's awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to our next participant. Their hand raised. All right, Carol.
Hi.
Hi.
My costume celebrates the sun, the moon, the heavens, the clouds, the rain, lightning, and the stars. I made it from paper and half-inch foam rubber that I got from Materials for the Arts. As the sun is the center of our solar system, and all the planets reflect its light, so are you, the center of your world, and all others around you will respond to your light. Resolve to shine brightly on this day and do everything in your power to keep our planet safe. As together we find climate solutions.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. All right, it looks like we have another minute or so. So if anyone else hasn't shared their costume.
Excellent.
All right, who do we have up here?
Could you call on us, please?
Yes, you're up.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi.
Yes, we can.
Hi.
Can you hear me? Okay. This is
No, they
the
didn't.
name of this costume is Kobibucha.
Yeah.
Bucha. Why Kobibucha? Because the top part is the mask is a piece of leather from material of the art, and it is a combination of kombucha leather in the center front.
Why not?
Front.
I don't know how to
This is made it from me.
Well, you should have just said, Danny, stay one more minute. I mean,
Mute everybody.
go and just say one more minute.
What? And then the name of Kobibucha because this is a combination of what we are living right now. Everybody's covered on the face because Kobe, and the bucha because kombucha. So the bottom, it was from a dress that somebody gave it to me. So
Awesome. Thank you for sharing.
you're welcome.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead back to Lynn Needle real quick. We didn't get, there we go. Let's unmute her so we can hear about her costume. All right, Lynn, we can hear you.
Sister.
The Monarch was made by Annie Hickman. The mask by a homeless artist in New Orleans in 1977. It's made out of leather and jewels. And the monarch, as we know, is an endangered species.
Ooh.
It took hundreds of hours to make this. And we know the monarch is a pollinator. Happy Earth celebrations, and thank you, Felicia.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, so we're coming up on the end of our call here. Let's see Judy Sky. We haven't seen your costume yet. I see your hands raised.
Hi.
You see it. Just kidding. Okay. All right, everyone. So let's go back. So as a way to end this call here, since we're all at a distance, Felicia had the idea of all of us doing a collective movement together since we all can't dance in person. So let's all, if you can, wave with your right arm, wave with your left, and we'll do a little spin, and that'll be the end of our parade in place.
So great.
And then we spin. Awesome.
Science opened up the door. We would feed the hungry fields till they couldn't eat no more. But the potions that we made touched the creatures down below.